this is amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Water.
For the first time here for season 3. Davis on pole, Vanderkrant in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here at Daytona. It was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vanderkrant in behind. Cowan's absolutely bogged it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Gallen and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survived for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Through turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono, who's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowans as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come, and they all spread out around in towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look all right at the moment. Okay, there's already been a car spun round. That's Jordan Ferguson off wide.
Is green at Road Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, Houghton is on that outside line. De Bono does want to turn it to twos. He's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns 2 and 3? They go round the right-hander, dropping down the hill. Faulkner's out in front. De Bono second. Houghton third. Ratcliffe in fourth. No real dramas going into turn 1.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down to the hill. Sam Noble wants to snip on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tenek and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't implemented it, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we get a good run. Dodd's just absolutely think about it. It's a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SRWtv. Welcome into round 3 of season 4 of 2024, the Cooler Master Super Formula Championship here out at Road America for sprint round action this evening. I'm your commentator Hamish Munro, joined this week by Steve Sinkovic. Sinker, it is not only round 3 of the season, it's also our next F1 Shadow round since the Mexican Grand Prix is coming up this weekend. Mate, you haven't been in the booth for SFLs for a long time. Are you ready, amped, and firing on all cylinders for what is arguably the most competitive series that we offer here in SRW?
Mate, it makes me, it hurts being here because I actually watch it every Wednesday night, and I reflect on how bad I used to be in this car and about how much I miss it. It's the car I miss the most out of all the cars, and I will be back. All right, their famous last words, but I will be back in this SFL series at some point. Hopefully there'll be space for me when it's time for me to race. The admins will let me in.
Free warning for everyone out there, if you're planning on racing in SFL, Sinker will be making a return at some point. But Road America tonight, we were here last week for the Supercars, Sinker. We saw it challenge a couple of drivers. We saw quite a couple of safety cars get occurred at this track. A little bit of controversy as well in the Sunday Supercars here. Now tonight, SFLs, I mean, that this season, each race has been absolutely wild, but each race has also been won by Dylan DeBono. Across the first 2 rounds, all 3 races that have been won by Dylan DeBono. No one else has won a race yet this season.
I've got to stop you there. I've got in front of me a green card, yellow card, and red card. And they're cards I'm issuing to you tonight. Every time you get excessive chatter of DeBono. Oh my God, I had to run to the bathroom and grab a bucket. It was like you were about to propose to him last week at the end of the show. It went on for so long, I thought, oh my God, DeBono's going to be blushing for the first time in his life.
Well, mate, honestly, the guy deserves it. He's gone through so much. He's gone through so much self-reflection to change how he approaches racing. He's even personally admitted that what he used to do was just cost him races, cost him championships. He's taken the pressure and the self-reflection on board, and he's making changes, and I think he deserves the plaudits for the changes that he's made. Every other driver in the field, they deserve their plaudits too. But to go on and win the first 3 races out of 2 rounds of a season, we haven't seen that for a long time here in SFLs, and I think it's very important that we do actually recognise that.
No, I think I agree with you. He's having a fantastic season, not only in this car but everything he's driving at the moment. If he did this for all of next year, he would probably win the Driver of the Year based on his performances in the 86s and in the Formula 3, the Formula Superlight Series. So that gives you a hint what's going to happen for 2025. Yes, we will be having a Driver of the Year for each series, but an all-out Driver of the Year as well. So,
well, I mean, me and Hutto have spoken about this a lot. Currently leading our Driver of the Year, personally, is David Gallo. The fact that he's won 2 titles over 3 seasons, he finished, I think it was P2 in the championship not last season, season 2, when Dave Roberts won. So he's been going from strength to strength all year. In fact, I believe he's actually surpassed Daniel Byrne in that Carlin's outfit as the #1 driver at the moment. But right now in the league, you can't really look past DeBono as the championship favourite. I mean, Hutto couldn't look past him so much. He had to backpedal on his championship prediction to admit that he now thinks DeBono's winning.
I heard that. I did hear that. But you know, there's still a lot of contention out there.
There is.
That driver that drives around for Kane in his hand, Darren Fahey, for someone who wants to have a vets league in this series, he's doing extremely well. He's had a very good, strong finish in most races, if he hasn't had any ding-dongs. There's some really good names that are doing well. Danny Davidson has been pretty good.
He has, mate. He has. And You would have well, you would have heard last week, Sinker. Myself and Hutto made the comparison. If you look back to sort of this time last year, or season 3 of last year, there were 2 drivers. One was a privateer, one was a part of a very major team in the league who went at it for the championship, those being Phil Vella and Michael Cuttajar. This season, we have a driver who's a privateer, Danny Davidson, and a driver who's a part of a big team, Dylan DeBono. So there's a lot of similarities to last year right now of who are championship contenders. DeBono and Davidson are the 2024 Cuttajar and Vella. I'm saying it now, like they just are. They're going head-to-head week in and week out. They've arguably got the most pace in the field without Vella out there. Those are the guys that are currently at the top of the timing sheets for a reason.
Yep. And I've been having a sneaky peek to see how the gentlemen's sim races have been going, and they've had some very good numbers as well for their series as well, which is really good. So I think in not counting this, in 6 weeks' time, 7 weeks' time, we are going to have a very, very special Australian Open Nationals Championship race. It's going to be spectacular. The last one for the year, but not the last one forever. It's going to keep continuing. Everyone's loving it, and it's going to keep on rolling. But look, mate, the boys are out there. The attention's back on them. 34 cars out on track. The liveries are looking fantastic this season. I'm really liking them. Really enjoying them. And I'm almost like missing my theatre room, because this is where I'm usually sitting there on my laptop, on my legs, watching the big screen, with the bass pumping, the music pumping, the sound pumping, every car going past pumping, and then talking to you guys in the chat as well. So, what a night.
Well, unfortunately, you don't get your theatre room, you get me. That's your trade that you've made tonight, Sinko. But you mentioned the AWN. You mentioned the AWN. That was one of the biggest reasons, actually, just going back quickly to Dylan DeBono, that was one of the biggest reasons for his change, for his self-reflection. He was so disappointed that he gave up the win in the AOWN at the end of last season that he just completely self-reflected and changed exactly how he's approaching this season.
Just a little bit less risk, yeah? Just
yeah,
more room
exactly.
It wasn't the pivotal point of the race or anything. It was just a little bit more room was needed. And that net, if memory serves me right, it was a net code incident too. So.
Yeah, it was himself and Vella, just a big net code. Like, that was what it was between them.
Nothing that would have been as bad as that net code. Net code at the moment is absolutely crazy. I'm not loving it at all. Oh, Danny Davidson, first sex to purple.
Yep, he is
as well.
He's pushing hard at the moment, Sinker. Oh, it's just been pipped though by Doug Gowans actually. So Dougie is pushing hard. We've got views on a couple of drivers tonight. Of course, we've got Cowie as we normally would, but we also have Dougie in the cams as well. Great to have him in there with us. Seeing how he goes here tonight, and at the moment, he's challenging for that provisional pole position.
Oh, rumour is that he used to work with Magic Mike.
Ah. Look at the tattoos on that man. The mastermind behind the AWN. So we'll see how he does here this evening.
What? He's genuinely a really nice guy. But I still like to give it to him.
He is. He's one of the nicest guys in the field. I don't know if he can hear us, but he is one of the nicest.
In those corners.
Yeah, he's maybe a little bit of puckering through the kink, possibly Sinker, just like hoping he doesn't hit the wall.
He's got motion, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does. He has. Yeah, he does have motion. Unless it's just a butt kicker. Maybe he might have the butt kicker. Yeah, he's got the self motion is what it is. As he comes up towards the line, Davison's gone. Davison's time hasn't actually counted. He had all those purples and it didn't count. Fahey's now gone top. 156.78. Gowan's time has counted. He's gone P2, 156.96. Dixon and Crespo behind. Byrne and Gallo. Carlin's boys in between. Matt Keane, though, goes pole for the Pro-Ams in P3 on the road. What a job from him as Caldwell gets it inside the top 10 as well. P1 for the Ams at the moment.
3 oldest guys in the series are in first, second and third. I love it. I love it. That is amazing. Oh, God. All right. We need some of these young boys to pump it up. You know, Jason Depp, how's he been doing, mate? He's had a bit of an up and down.
Yeah, he got caught out. He got caught out in some wars that were not his fault necessarily last week. I believe he might have a rear of grid this week actually, which is why he's not out on track at the moment. Josh King's been firing on all cylinders. He's actually my prediction to win the AMS Championship this season.
Oh, I didn't notice Danny Bartucci there, because you don't see all the name on the screen at home, so you miss out on all that.
Yeah.
But, another one that I'm really eager to see do well tonight, and when we just go by the list, it just disappeared, was Scotty Pocock.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's right on the cusp there on that top 5, isn't he? He's got that skill level. He just gets into trouble every now and again. But I've got a lot of respect for the guy. He's a really nice guy, and I love watching him race.
Midpoint of last season was probably the best we've ever seen out of him. Won his first race at Mosport, which me and Hutto actually predicted happening somehow. And then the week after, he followed it up with another podium as well. He was on fire at the midpoint of last season. He has that feeling about him of a little... Oh, Sinise goes P2 though, and behind Davidson, the 55.9. First 55, sorry, in the session from Danny Davidson there, but Sinise is closing in with his lap times as Gallo and Byrne once again, Carlin's their way up further as De Bono goes P3 on the grid. Oh, times are coming in quick and fast.
You know what? Tonight isn't going to be all De Bono's way, I don't think, because everyone is looking like they've done a little bit of that extra practice. The Carlin boys took that time then very, very smartly. You just see them tailing all the way up, and then as they come to the line, they split up. So they can both get the best times possible. Very smart team drivers, those guys.
Adrian, the Ready Horse, now finds himself inside the top 10. Davis goes P9 in his Team SRW Motorsports car. On the roll bar of that car sinker, it looks very English, I must say. This is very reminiscent of the Union Jack.
On our car? Yeah, it does. He's gone for... Jamie wanted more of a royal blue rather than the...
I like the royal blue. I do like it. It's a very nice colour.
Yeah, it is nice. It's a bit... it's almost an indigo. It's almost got that just a flick of purple in it. So it's real. You know what it is? It's real reflex blue, to be technically honest. It's got that little touch of purple in it. What I was about to say is Adrian already has finally pushed his clock in the direction where it suits him to drive.
Yeah.
I think it was just too hard to give up and too hard not to come in here and race the quality of drivers out here. And he's where he deserves to be, mate, on the track with the rest of these boys.
Mate, he's only gone from strength to strength ever since returning to the series this season. It's great to see him back out there with us. Very, very nice guy. Pretty much our local Tech Tips hero in the SFLs is Loretti. Willing to help out whenever he can. Just
another big improver that I've been watching through the series as well. Keaton Caldwell.
Yeah, mate. You have to give him his plaudits as well. For someone who struggled a lot, and I mean a lot, over-defended a lot. He's another driver who's been very self-reflective as Davison goes even faster this time by a 55.7, Gallo 55.8, Byrne with a 55.9, Gowan's just on the cusp. Caldwell, very similar to De Bono, has self-reflected, put the practice in, and is just trying to go from race to race at the moment and not push too hard, just trying to get those solid points, and hats off to him for doing so.
Yeah, very, very much so. But tell you what, mate, all the way down till 13th, there is only a second in it.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy how close it can get.
How much this series has improved. It used to be, you know, top 3 or 4, and then there was everyone was like a second and a half behind or whatever. Now this is what you call real racing out here. The boys, the splits, the time differences. There's not much in it at all. And you know what? We need 3 more people out there to come and join watch. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mates to come in and watch. Get in here. Is watch some of the fastest guys in the country drive around. They deserve to be applauded and watched on a regular basis. And the funny thing is, as I'm saying this, we have got 16 people watching us just on Facebook, on YouTube. That's not including Facebook. 17 now watching, and the professional V8 Supercar Logitech Pro Series has got 17 people watching it. So we're up there.
They both series have split the views tonight. Everyone had to pick their side. Half of them went to Logitech, the other half came here to check out SFL.
We'll get to our standard 30. I'll be very happy, man, as we normally do. Look at Daniel Byrne, man. 2 purples. That middle sector really got him, though. He's got 1 sector to go. How's he going to go across the line? Where's he going to finish up?
55.9. Oh, Jay Dixon, though. Use the total as advantage of 55.84 from Jay Dixon. Gets him up into P2 at the moment. He could be a little quiet achiever tonight. Hasn't really been firing on all cylinders. Been spending too much time in Europe, it seems. Enjoying a little bit too much wine, but he's back, and he's back firing on all cylinders, it seems, without Phil Vella here. As Dixon, Loretti and Fahey are the ones flying the flag at the moment for DFR.
Question for you, mate. Oh, we've hit 18. We've got one more than the Logitech now. Question for you. What is tonight's race format?
It's a sprint race tonight, mate. It's a sprint race, so they will get cut off at the 15 minutes. They will not be able to finish their lap times once we hit 15 minutes into this session. We'll then have a 20-minute race and then a 40-minute feature at the end. So an opportunity for another 2 wins to go to someone's way, whether it's De Bono, who's their only winner this season, or someone else, perhaps a Danny Davidson to try and close down that gap if he can, even a Jay Dixon, a David Gallo, or a Daniel Byrne. Hey, maybe even a Dougie Gowans, who Bradburyed his way to a win last season. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. We love to call that one.
3rd and 4th sector purple. He's got an orange in the 5th. Let's see how he goes in the 6th. He is already leading with a 155.649. Will he crack it even further?
Oh, this is going to be very, very quick. Across the line for Davison. Is it any better than his previous best? 55.3 for Davison. Oh, he's just showing off now.
Yeah,
he's just showing off.
2 faster.
Nearly. That's nearly 5/10 faster, Sinker, than Jay Dixon's time.
Yeah.
It's nearly 5. That's ridiculous.
It just shows the levels that this series has come to. The days of when I thought, I can't. There was one point very, very early on where we thought we were going to lose the Formula 3s, but we persisted with it. And people were telling me, no, it's dead. And there's a nice spin in the bottom screen.
That's Davison.
But it has developed into something very, very special with the help of all the admin and all the drivers as well that have invited their mates to come in, that have had fun in here. I think the crucial point was, actually I'll have to give credit to Darren Fahey early on. How good's it look in the red there? Darren Fahey early on, when he brought all his mates into race because he had so much fun in the lounge, and then dumped us from the lounge and went to his own team room. But that's sort of where the pinnacle started, and the growth of the Formula 3s as we had it back then started growing.
Is there a correlation, Sinker? Now this is a half joke, but also a genuine question. Was there a correlation to when you stopped racing and more people came in?
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, I'm genuinely curious, because that was what? Was that at the end of season 4 last year? Or did you race in season 1?
I can't remember when the last season was now, to be honest.
Okay. That'd be an interesting stat to see if it was,
I raced this year. It was season 1.
Okay, so season 1, okay. To be fair, season 2, we did have more entries than we've ever had in a second season of the year for SFLs, so it did have rapid growth that season, which was good.
Yes, Hamish.
Oh no, I'm just saying in general. Like,
it was. There's a lot of growth. I think the biggest thing for our whole series, all our series, was when we did 2 seasons in Rome.
Yeah.
Last year, and did it for free for everyone to see. We knew we had a great series. We knew we had great staff, a great admin. And then I decided that's it. I'm going to do 2 free seasons.
Just quickly, David Gallo's just gone top with a 55.36 sinker.
It was a nice move. He had a bit of a toe there, but he did really, really well.
So the 2-time champion has gone provisional pole with less than a minute to go. Davison can't beat him. He doesn't have enough time to get back to the line. Can Bartouche get it up there? He's got a purple next to his name. So does Pocock. As he comes up towards the line. Doesn't look like it's going to be anything special, but it just might be. Bartish, where does he go? P11 on the road.
Gone up to 11.
Pocock in behind goes P7.
Roddy Pocock's gone up and quite above Ducky Gowans.
No one's out there that can beat him. I don't think anyone's close enough, Sinker. It's it. David Gallo's got the provisional pole. In the dying embers of qualifying, Danny Davidson had a provisional pole. Ever since he took that pole from Fahey, he held the provisional pole for around about 14 minutes of that session. And then David Gallo pips him right on the dying embers of the session. Wow. What a moment for him.
Special. That was pretty special.
That was
very
spectacular.
Well done. Very well done. Look at the names on this grid.
I know, it's ridiculous. Starting grid for you is as follows. David Gallo for Collins Motorsport will start pole position ahead of Privateer. Danny Davidson out of P2. Dylan Tomato will start P3 ahead of Jay Dixon in P4. Giuliano Sinise will start alongside Daniel Byrne for the third row of the grid with Scott Pocock and Doug Gowans in behind them. Darren Fahey and Miguel Crespo will make up the top 10 as an all-pro top 10, with the top 2 of Pro-Am lining up in behind them of Dan Bartish and Shane Ratcliffe in P11 and P12. In behind them, Jamie Davis, Adrian Loretti will start ahead of Thomas Donohoe and Matt Keane, with Matt Tessariero, Sean Benici, Andrew Rushworth and Mitch Noble making up the top 20. Nathan Verney, Callum Rosanita and Tyson McAvoy make up the top 23 ahead of pole position for the AMs, Dean Sinkovic. He'll line up ahead of the next 2 AMs and Andrew Cowan and Keegan Caldwell in behind, with Ben Brook, Josh King, Kevin Wakefield and Carlin Hodgkinson making up the top 30. Jordan Ferguson, Tyler Sheaf will make an all VRT 16th row of the grid, with Greg Johnston and Johnny Rowe lining up in behind them, as well as Nick Schmalenberg and Stephanie Piccoli. Pete Ziedler, Jason Depp did not set times in qualifying. I have a feeling, though, that they both have rear of grid penalties for this race.
Yes, possibly. If Race Control can confirm that for us, that would be amazing. We have now 21 people in the channel watching. Just on YouTube themselves, so thank you very much for joining us. Please do like and subscribe, hit that little notification button, hit that little bell so you can get a ding ding every time we're on show.
You'll not only get
Are we going to get a clean first lap?
No. No, I don't think so, Sinker. I think we'll have a car off track at some point on the first lap.
We'll have a car off track, but not a safety car, I hope.
I'm not on lap 1, I don't think. I think we'll get 2 safety cars tonight. I think we'll get 1 in each race. I got it right last week with 3, but I don't think we'll have 3 this week. I think it'll be 2. I think they'll smarten up.
Nothing makes me smile more at the moment when I'm watching the Sid World Racing is the length of our pit, of our grid.
It's huge.
Crazy.
It's absolutely huge. So
We'll
Gallo,
do one of those cameras over the summer where we can just run down the middle and see all the cars. We'll work on that.
it'd be pretty special. You'd have to have about 4 different lobbies open just to allow all the drivers. Mr. Gallo will start on pole.
With our camera. Go through the middle of them all the way through.
Yeah.
Just zoom down the center.
Yeah. Need like a drone controller.
Yes, correct. That's Luke from Southern Stars.
Yeah, from Race Stars.
Get ready. Goosebumps are pumping.
Lights out and away we go for the next F1 Shadow Series round of the season and round 3 of season 4 of 2024. Gallo had an incredible start down towards the line. He's going to cover the defensive line early. Tucks back across ahead of Davidson as the Bono's trying to find a pathway round. As they come through turn 1, if they kept it clean, they have it. There's a massive stack and cars off the track.
Ooh. That looked like it could have got messy.
Oh, it was very, very messy. Very, very messy indeed. It's like a school art room sinker down there. Just paint everywhere all across the road as cars have rocketed out across the track down towards turn 5. Heavy braking zone could be an opportunity for a move. DeBono was looking for it, couldn't quite get it. Oh, Sinise's gone round, but he's kept it in line but lost the rear wing. It's another massive blow up. We're going to get a safety car for sure.
Yeah, it feels like Davis has gone around at the same time. Look at those red marks on my screen everywhere. Ganesi, Radcliffe, Benici, Brooks, Depp, Zebra, all having incidents, and the safety car is out to clean up this mess.
Not surprising
It's nothing
at
but
all.
snail trail. You look from above, and you can see where everyone is trying to avoid situations, and that was a messy, messy start.
Yeah, not surprising at all. We'll quickly run through some of these incidents that have occurred while the safety car comes out on track. So this was lap 1, turn 1. So we had Mitch over on the inside. There was Benbrook on the outside. A little bit of a tap. That cost, I believe, caused Rosanita to go off track. There was then also, there was another bit as well with Schmalenberg and Piccoli, it seems. So the action happens up ahead of them. Also, there was a touch with Depp from Ziedler. So that was from Depp. That was Depp and Ziedler. Yeah. So Ziedler knocked into the back of him.
He's no foul action.
So where's Ziedler?
Yeah, he's hit him in the back, and he's hit the car in front of him as well.
So you'll see this. He gets this knock, bang, like that. Just a wild ride for Depp.
That's Fernando going over the top.
Yeah, nothing he could do. Nothing he could do in that situation at all.
Wow.
And
so
then
there's 3 different incidents there to unpack. It looks like maybe there's even a 4th.
Yeah, this was Johnston as well. So he also, this was so he was involved with the Depp incident.
Yeah, so Johnston got rear-ended, and then the car that Ziedler hit went on the air and landed on top of the car beside him.
So just an absolute blow up at turn 1, and then this was down at turn 5. So you'll notice Sinise gets spun round. Then there was just more little action further. Oh my God, that DFR car rolled. That was Loretti.
Yeah, what happened there with him and Davis? I think it was.
Yeah, I believe it was. So oh no, that was so.
Gone wide.
Loretti lost control. It was another one.
The yellow cars hit whoever that was in front of Davis, and then Davis has hit whoever he hit.
So there's Davis, sends it up the inside.
So that yellow car.
That's Ratcliffe.
Ratcliffe hits Davis, and then the DFR car goes over the top of Davis.
No, I'm not sure which one it is. It might have been Fahey, but yeah, I think it might have been Darren Fahey.
No, he's still out on track.
Miguel Crespo. No, it was Miguel Crespo. Yeah, Miguel Crespo.
That was a bit of carnage left, right, and centre. Whew. Alrighty, well, we've unpacked that. That was a beautiful bit of action out there. 23 people just on YouTube watching us. Love you all for coming in and saying g'day. Dougie Gowans has still got his heart in check. He is sitting in 7th place in the lower screen at the moment. He's got a bit of bump chihuahua furniture in the background there.
Yeah, he's really living in the 90s, isn't he? With that. Oh, mate, there's no cash here, no cash vibe I'm getting off of this. Andrew Cowan as well, a bit further back. He's back in P21 at the moment, is Cowie. But he is up 4 spots in this race so far, so he's done well to gain.
Hodgkinson up 12.
Yep, Rowe up 10. Yep, so they avoid some of that early carnage at turn 1 and turn 5, which is good to see.
Where are we going to place my little camera here? I think we're going to place my little camera here on Daniel Byrne. See how he goes through the field. Exceptional driver in a position where he's usually a lot further up forward. Let's see how the boys go and how they behave coming through this restart. We've done, what, one official lap. We're 5 minutes 22 into the 20 minutes. 15 minutes to go, less than. Just tuned in to watch the carnage. G'day 747. It's me, mate.
Simmons.
I'm here again.
Mr. David Simmons, great to have you here, joining us once again in the chat. Adam Hughes out there as well. RC team is slightly goated tonight, not fully goated as usual, but they are up there tonight. Glad we've got the running counter of how goated the RC team is, thanks to Hughesy every week.
Really goated on it.
We'll have to run a Brownlow count from Hughesy of how goated the RC team is each week, and just hand out a little goat trophy, I reckon. So congratulations, you were the most goated.
Yeah. I tell you what, the numbers, 30 people out there watching, plus Facebook. Woo-woo.
Mate, they had a feeling that carnage was on the menu tonight. As Sean Bonici's coming to pit lane for whatever reason. Shouldn't need a pit stop in this race. Should only be a one-stopper in the feature later on.
Might have damage. Might have damage. Don't worry about Dougie's vintage furniture. Just watch out for the 5-foot brown snake he found today. Oh, really? Or is that a pun?
Bloody Queenslanders.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's up in Queensland, mate. He's a landscaper. So he's a very busy man.
So I reckon, Singer, because normally in this scenario, right, normally we would think DeBono's P3, he's in behind two guys who are very quick, he'll send it. I reckon off this restart, Singer, DeBono, after the way he's been talking, I would not be surprised if he just hangs back a little bit, waits till later in this race, and then see if he's able to have a crack or not. I don't reckon he's going to push too hard too early here.
Logic tells you, you've won 3 rounds. You're in 3rd place. Do you risk it and get no points for tonight? For the first feature?
I don't think he does.
You get top 3?
Yeah, I reckon he's going to be willing just to hold.
Yeah, exactly. Smart thing is keep pace on, keep pressure on. If an opening opens, take it. Don't create one.
Exactly. Don't kick the door open. Wait for the wind to blow it open for you.
Yeah.
So at the moment, we've only got 2 cars not on the lead lap, those being Jason Depp and Pete Ziedler, after having a wild moment.
On the lap down past me, whoever it was needs to be aware that he needs to be on full pace to pass the stop and go line. So I think it must be.
So Bonici came out. So Bonici came out of the lane. Pit lane will be closed because the train's coming past. Once the train's passed, though, pit lane reopens again. Like the exit. The entry's always open, but the exit opens again. So, what's he trying to call in?
I know, you're thinking smart. Yeah, all right. Teammates now, Cam. Come on, mate.
Cam, just the way that he carries himself recently is... The mindset's changed, and it would be very disappointing if we saw him regress back to what he's previously done after the efforts he has gone to. So I hope he keeps it up, and I hope he does have a strong run.
Johnny Rowe has gone off track. The safety car has got lights out. It's returning to pit lane. No more weaving from now on, and the lead has gone to David Gallo. He's controlling the field as we speak.
How do you go off under a safety car, Singer?
No, he went off on purpose, I think.
Ah.
I think he was out. I think my gut's telling me that it was Jimmy Rowe. Where is he?
Johnny Rowe. He's gone back to.
He was trying to get out of the way because he was out of position.
How was he out of position?
I think he wanted to get out of the way of drivers that are faster than him. I think.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. That's my gut. That's what my gut tells me. I could be completely wrong. But safety car is now officially in.
So the onus will now go to David Gallo. I reckon he... Oh, does he go mid-corner, Sinker? Surely he has to.
Oh, if I was him, I'd go just as he gets to the flat spot at the top, because then everyone else is going up the hill.
He's holding them.
Get the advantage.
He is holding them right now.
It's going to be harder for the guys to put the foot down coming up the hill. As soon as he gets the flat spot, boom, go. No, he's still holding
He's
them.
done it. He's gone.
There you go. You followed my advice.
I wonder if he listened to you on that one. Oh, big weaves from DeBono, filling the mirrors of Davison at the moment as we come round.
Go for it.
Nah, he's trying to bait him.
Here. This is the one.
If DeBono can get the run, as I believe Sinise and Johnston have had an off-track in the background as well, Sinker, so there's been more carnage at turn 1. Johnston's been allowed to tow back to pit lane as they come down towards turn 5. Car
Mitch
10.
Noble.
No, Giuliano Sinise. Oh my God! He's pulled a Zhuang Yu. Oh, McAvoy's round as well at turn 5. What is happening in this race?
Why are you excited about that? It's just standard, isn't it?
Gotta bring excitement to things that are expected, Sinker. Come on.
It's Tyson, man. Come on.
There's Gallo leads them round. Yeah,
it's and they haven't spun, which was really interesting to see. But the grid is full on. Everyone's close. So Jay Dixon's putting pressure on Danny Davidson.
Yeah.
DeBono's now in place.
Yeah, DeBono's got it done. So DeBono's now finally gotten it done. Not sure where he may have done it, but Davison is now under attack. There has been a multitude of incidents across this lap. We've heard nothing about a safety car as of yet.
008 incident responsibility, drive-through penalty.
That's Pete Ziedler for the moment with Jason Depp on that one. Of Johnny
Greg
Rowe.
Johnson,
Oh.
yeah. Of Wakefield.
Nah, you got that one wrong. That was Jason Depp on top of Greg Johnston. Oh, Daniel.
Hit the back.
No. Yeah, Jason Depp hit the back of Johnston, which then launched Johnston into the back of Wakefield.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the 5.
Well, it was a blow up at turn 1. It was a blow up at turn 1 regardless. This is what happened with Sinise and Johnston though, off the restart at turn 1. So, what has occurred down here? So Sinise, who's the pro driver on the outside. Oh, Johnston, what has Johnston done?
Look at that.
He nearly found the door to the Shadow Realm. He pulled a Guan Yu Zhou. As Loretti's just gone. Yeah, that was Loretti. That was Loretti who's just gone round on your screen. Wow. So let's quickly get a POV of Greg Johnston in this moment, because it looks like he's had a steering failure. Oh, he locked up and it made the car run wide.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Aaron Fahey's just got the fastest lap, 1:59.105. So well done there by Fahey. Oh, he was in the middle. He just moved over because he had a car on his right. Oh, that's another 1-to-1 pack for the boys. I tell you what, mate, this bottom screen's got some mega battles going on.
It does.
The boys are going good wide through the elbow in the back straight. Crazy pace through here.
They are pushing at a ridiculous rate of knots at the back end of the top 10.
Why about watching Sunday's replay of the F1? Come back and watch the replay of this. These boys are putting some mega passes.
Oh, I think Vernie's had an off track as well, Sinker, so he's now fallen down the order. That's DeBono. Oh my God, look at that!
Look at this, 3 wide. Oh, 2 wide into 3. They filtered into one line just as they came to that corner. What a move. These guys have got some ridiculous pace tonight.
How has he just pulled that off?
Myself, doing really well.
He is, mate, he is. He's taken to it. He's taken to it perfectly as Keen's looking to send it up his inside. Down at turn 5. He's got the job done. Oh, and Bartish has gone way too slow through there. He's managed to give Dixon a heap of time up on him. Keen's then also gained. It's a big loss there for Bartish, but he continues on.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pressure on now.
He does. Massive amounts of pressure within the final 5 minutes of this race. Cars have been going off everywhere, including Ratcliffe, who's had an off track in the background. McAvoy just came back past him as well. Tessiero's had a few offs too.
Hello and Dylan DeBono. Dill's only about 3/10 behind Gallo, but they've pulled away from Danny Davidson and Peacock all the way. They're like a second to 2 seconds away, so they've done really well.
Davidson's done well to hold that 1.2 second gap ahead of him. But De Bono and Gallo are firing on all cylinders here. 4 minutes to go in this race. Does De Bono win his 4th race in a row this season, or can Gallo be only the 2nd winner? As De Bono's got a massive run out of the final corner, down towards turn number 1. It's a drag racing towards the braking zone. De Bono's gotten it done over Gallo. Gallo's going to tuck back in behind and have an attack on him throughout the rest of this lap.
The headset he must have got through that final corner and to get that much pace on him, that was ridiculous.
Well,
He looked like he was doing like 10 foot faster.
The tow around here is ridiculous, Sinker, and you know that the tow in these cars is ridiculous as well. So De Bono there, he's put 2 and 2 together. He's had a fantastic run over David Gallo. Down to, and look at that, see how much he is gaining on De Bono. De Bono's having to go defensive early here, so now the onus is completely on Dylan De Bono to try and defend this lead ahead of David Gallo, who is all over him right now. He's not giving him anything as he tucks it back up the inside. What a move!
That was like clockwork, man. There was not much of a gap there, and he's had a go, and he's putting in
De
this
Bono's
right
come
away.
back at him. He's gotten it done again. Now Davison's in on it. Now it's a triple threat battle for the lead.
This is not over because there's a big drag coming down this straight. These guys are going to end up three beside each other in the final 2 corners.
This has been a ridiculous battle for the lead of this race. The battle between the top 2 has rubber-banded Danny Davidson back into it, who's now going to try and assault David Gallo down towards Canada corner. Heavy braking zone. Not willing to go for it just yet. He's going to wait, just tucking in behind through Thunder Valley and try and get the job done up towards turn 1 if he can. But he needs the ultimate run out of turn 14.
92, drive-through penalty. Jamie Davis got a drive-through for that.
Interesting.
Whoa.
As they rocket up to the top of the hill. Davidson's going for it on David Gallo now, side by side. He's got the inside line on him as well. De Bono's going to cover the inside for both of them. White flag lap. White flag. Can Davison get this done? 2 wide. Gallo has sent it round the outside. Contains himself into P2 on the road, Sinker. De Bono will be breathing a breath of fresh air right now because Davidson could save him the win in this race.
Well, these two have got to be smarter now. Davidson and Gallo need to think about De Bono's getting away about this fight, so they need to get closer before they fight some more. But Davidson's not having any of it. He has got Gallo side by side coming through. Will the brakes hold all the way through? Gallo's trying to get the over-under done. Gallo's got the wheels just about in, nearly overlap, but not quite enough to do anything.
He couldn't do what he did to De Bono last lap. Davison's run it wide though at turn 6. Kept it going in P2 through 7 down towards turn 8 now before the carousel. Gallo's not quite close enough. This is now given Dylan De Bono an exceptional gap of 1.6 seconds at the front of the field. Through the carousel he comes. Gallo is all over Danny Davidson at the moment. The battle for P2 is on, Sinker. De Bono just has to do what he's done across the first 2 rounds and make it to the checkered flag, and it'll be a 4th win in a row.
Spectacular drive there, those key passes, but these 2 boys are putting on the show tonight like crazy, and Botox just behind them waiting to see what happens.
Gallo gets the job done into Canada corner on Danny Davidson. He now moves up into P2 on the road. Dylan De Bono has stretched this gap out to 1.8 seconds now. He didn't qualify it on pole, but he's managed to find the pace and find the magic under racing conditions once again. Dylan De Bono maintains your only race winner of the season, wins his 4th race in a row and wins his 4th in 3 rounds. As Gallo comes across the line ahead of Davison in a drag race for the podium, Pocock and Fahey are going to make up the top 5. Goward's P6, Keane wins it for the Pro-Ams in the sprint. Caldwell comes across the line P1 for the AMs. What a race.
That's sensational. Matty Keane done really well getting in for the Pro-Ams, and Josh King in the AMs. Well done, Joshy.
Caldwell was the winner of the AMs. King was P2. Although King, yeah, no, he is. Caldwell's an AM. Caldwell is an AM.
No, Matty King.
Yeah, Matty Keen's a Pro-Am. Yeah,
Yes,
Matty
correct.
King, yeah, and then Caldwell won it for the AMs. King got it on the podium for the amateurs. Josh King. So I'm saying. Yes. Who he is actually my prediction this season to win the Amps. I do think that King can win it.
He's just got to get consistency in there. He's got consistency. There was a few incidents that were in the back there.
There were some big ones.
Incidents as well. I'm gonna have to unpack that one on Jamie tonight. That one that went through that he got penalised for. I wonder if that was the one where he got nudged.
No, he sent it up the inside, and then Ratcliffe was on the outside, but I don't know if he was up far enough before the turn in from Ratcliffe, maybe.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm not sure.
After the race.
We've got the warm-up action now, Sinker, to come. 5 minutes, little 5-minute break before our next race. Personally, that battle for the lead, that was one of the best battles we've seen all season across the first 3 rounds. That was absolutely epic. Dylan DeBono, though,
Didn't each other. The problem they had was the toe was so strong.
Yeah.
And to where you made the pass and let the toe take the next pass, you had to be careful. I think Dylan just got it right, and he was lucky that he made the pass just as Davidson got involved.
Yeah.
Because that was pressure on Gallo, and from there it was home hosed.
I mean, it was whether it was strategy, whether it was pure luck, it was an incredible move for him to take the win. He didn't qualify the best tonight, to DeBono. He didn't take the pole. He's taken the pole in the first 2 rounds. This is the first race that he didn't take pole, but he has won another race this season now. At the moment, Sinker, I think racing conditions, not many other drivers look better or as good as DeBono does at the moment. Davison looked really, really good. Had some great pace. Probably need another 5 or so minutes to really get that job done on Gallo. Gallo still looks strong, but DeBono just looked a step above in that race. I don't know what it was about it, but he finds something in a racing condition.
Yeah. Danny Burns out there at the moment. I think he's fine-tuning himself, getting his set up just right. So interesting to see. My bubble has been burst. The Logic Pro is now got 77 watching to our 25:30.
You promoted it too much, Sinker. They heard whispers that it was on.
I was motivating the viewers, mate, to show them how special things are. I mean, you can't compete with the Logitech. They've just got such a...
They've got such a great field of drivers out there. A lot of drivers I would love to see on the Sunday night. Realistically, a lot of the drivers that race in the Pro Series race on Sunday night with us. I know, Rehan did the 1,000, but, you know.
It'd be interesting to see if any of them can race as fast in the open wheelers as our boys here do.
I'd have to refresh my memory on who's in that series to really give you a proper answer. Wouldn't be able to...
I'm sure there's some fast boys that can do it.
I think Madison down, just with enough, like a week's worth of practice, he'd be up to pace with the leaders, for sure.
You'd have to put a stipulation. You don't know the track and no practice. Because that's the thing with those guys. Those guys in the Logitech Pro, they just practice like crazy. They know every bump, every move.
And I don't mean like a week of practice, but just like 7 days for them to get used to the car, get themselves up to speed, and and just fine tune themselves in the car and learn the driving style. So not necessarily full on practice all day, all night, but just spending an hour or 2 each day just to fine tune yourself. I think that's what it would take for Madison to really get up to pace in these cars. But, I mean, there's a lot of other drivers out there who've cross promoted themselves, I guess we'll say, across different categories and across different series as well. Multitude of our supercars drivers on the Sunday, racing the Vets, racing Scops, racing Logi. So there's a heap of them out there and that are cross series. I mean, Andrew Rushworth races Tuesday supercars, Wednesday SFLs, and then races Vets on the Thursday, and then races Legends on the Friday. So he's all over the shop.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I
know. My wife actually said tonight, I said to her, there's not enough hours in the day to get all the gardening done and stuff like that, and all the things I've got to do around the house and that. She goes, well, yeah, you do spend every night on the either commentating or watching the boys race.
I see no lies in that statement there, Sinker. Realistically, there are no lies in that one.
There
But,
is no light. She just went.
would you rather be doing some horticultural work or some motorsport work? I know which one I would pick.
Oh, me too, mate. Me too. But I've got a house to maintain. I've got a house we moved into that's got a lot of work to be done for, like, just to get into the, you know, the initial stuff you got to do before you sort of settle into the place.
Just so it feels like a home instead of just a house.
Yeah. I've put my fingerprint on everything, sort of thing. But you know what? It's all fun, and watching the boys race, it's hard not to. You know, it really is. What's the predictions, mate? What are we going to see?
I
Don't
think
forget we've got a reverse top 10.
I know we've got a reverse top 10. Honestly,
Ooh, Danny Byrne has got the lead. Oh, look at that!
Yeah, he's got the pole. Yeah. So we'll get our starting grid up whilst I contemplate my prediction for this race. Daniel Byrne will start pole position ahead of Dan Bartish in P2. Jay Dixon, Matt Keane will be the second row of the grid. With Doug Gowans, Darren Fahey in behind, Scott Pocock, Danny Davidson, David Gallo and Dylan Bono will make up the reverse top 10. As we then move back to Thomas Donohoe, Matt Tesseriera. Everyone from P11 down will start how they finished in race number 1. Keegan Caldwell, Calvin Hodgkinson, Andrew Rushworth and Josh King will start up in behind them with Callum Rosanita and Mitch Noble for the top 18. Tyler Sheaf, Miguel Crespo will start on the 10th row. Ben Brook and Nathan Verney will start in behind with Sean Benici and Andrew Cowan for the top 24. Nick Schmalenberg and Dean Sinkovic will line up alongside each other with Adrian Loretti, Stephanie Piccoli, Tyson McAvoy and Jordan Ferguson making up the top 30. Kevin Wakefield, Jamie Davis, Shane Ratcliffe, Jason Depp, Pete Zieler and Giuliano Sinise will make up the back of the field with Greg Johnson and Johnny Rowe on the final row of the Greg Barber, Greg Leake, and I believe Stefan McCartan, our race controllers here this evening. My prediction for this race, Sinker, I think it's hard to go past DeBono. He's looking strong, but the mid-pack chaos could throw a spanner in the works. So I want to say DeBono's going to win, just based on form, based on how he raced in that last race, but I'm aware of how good Davison and Gallo have been. So I'm going to say that I think 2 of the drivers that finished on the podium last race will finish on the podium this race, and we'll get a new podium finisher that didn't finish on the podium in race 1. I think it's too close to call. It's too close to call at the moment.
Well, amidst of no carnage, I think it's going to be an amazing race. I think they got the bug out of their system now, and they'll be ready to rock and roll because there's 40 minutes and there's no risks in the first few corners.
I like David's prediction, pile up first corner. I think we are going to get another pile up first corner. Just the amount of cars on track.
Yeah.
Drivers will be pushing, you know. But for a second race in a row, Sincar, it's a Carlin's Motorsport car on pole position. Race 1 it was David Gallo. This race it is Daniel Byrne. So they get the double podium here, the double pole position here tonight across both races. Good job from those boys to get it done, which is good to see.
I'm keen to see how this start goes. I'm keen to see how some of these pro-ams go that are at the pointy end. Dan Partouche and Matty Keane. How they handle the pressure.
Well, the pressure is going to be huge on them. It is going to be massive. I predict that Matt Tesseriera is going to win it for the Pro-Ams in this race. I think something happens to the front runners.
Here we go. Watch it flashing.
Lights up. Let's go racing for race 2 here this evening. Feature race at your doorstep right now as they rocket down towards turn 1. It was a phenomenal start from Byrne off the start. Bartish is right with him as well as Dixon as well. Do they survive turn 1? Looks pretty good at the front. How does the rear of the field go?
3 wide. They went through the back just behind the Bono. They've come through clean, but I tell you what, it's looking pretty hot back there.
It is incredibly hot throughout the field there. Oh, there's been a moment down at turn 3. That's Benici who's gone round, as well as Wakefield.
Is that Wakefield?
Yep, Sinise as well. I believe Tyler Sheaf or Jason Depp has had to take avoiding action off the grass. So big moment already as there's a massive pile up at Calvin Hodgson and Matt Tesseriera.
Oh, all I could hear is crash, boom, all these panels going everywhere in my car.
Wow.
These boys, I tell you what, it's a 40-minute race. You do not need to make every single pass that is available.
They're racing like it's a one-lap dash.
Yeah.
At this point. But
Bono is going through this field like butter.
Mate, he is. He's just cutting through it.
Yellow very quickly. Now he's got Pocock in front of him. Not sure Pocock is going to be that easy.
Oh, he'll be forced to fight for it for sure. He's not going to get it handed to him. It's still DeBono. Dixon and Keane. Oh, Bartosz needs to be careful about leaving racing room. Dixon's off the road.
That was crazy to try and pass there, Dixon. Wow.
He had the space, but Bartosz moved over. There was a car width, but Bartosz moved over.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. All I could see was the cockpit cam of him running out of space.
Well, end of lap 1. We'll quickly run through everything that's happened over the first lap of this race as Byrne now leads the way. Piccoli was the only car to have an off-track down at turn 1. So this is what happened to her. Oh, it's a self-spin.
Oh, she just touched the grass.
And then Loretti and Benici had it coming together down at turn 3. Oh, he had a massive lock-up. That was a self-tap from his teammate. And then Ziedler, Depp, Rowe, all having to take avoiding action down there. So we'll see the smoke. There's the car off track. There's Wakefield spun round. Ziedler did a phenomenal job.
Ziedler to avoid that.
Job. Bit of self-love from a couple of teammates there too. This was the big one. The big one down at turn 5. Test around Hodgkin. Hodgkinson absolutely launched it there and then spun him round the wrong way. That's going to be a penalty Hodgkin's way for sure. And then this was Dixon.
That corner's been surprising both times so far, the penalties that we've seen out of it. So we'll wait to see how that one pans out.
So this was Dixon on Bartosz. So he's alongside. Bartosz is moving over. So he's squeezing him off the road, then he's off track.
We need 9 more subscribers to hit 1,300. Come on, people. Giddy up.
What do they get out of it, Sinko?
Huh? What are they going to get out of it? Nothing tonight. I'm not going to give a mood tonight.
Our love and attention, that's what they'll get.
They'll get that. I'll tell you what, DeBono is having a great little battle there coming through. He is now all the way to 8th. He's got up 2 places. Callum Roseneder. Dixon places up. Adrian already up 10. Jamie Davis up 13. Ratcliffe and Zebra up 11. Johnny Rowe up 10.
Noble alongside Donahoe. Oh, interesting. So Brook and Sinkovic are now in the pit lane. Being Dean and not yourself, obviously, Sinko. Now moves Davis up to 14 positions gained in this race. Ratcliffe's now up 11. Ziedler's up 11. Rowe is now up 12. A good run at the back of the field. His teammate Tyler Sheep is down 9. Unfortunately running around with one hand at the moment after breaking his hand last week. Good to see him back out on track though.
Yeah, it's a fair effort.
Yep.
Fair effort.
He's done
I'll tell you what, I thank you, Hamish. It was a beautiful view from the broadcast room of this track.
Oh, thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
The way the organisers put us in this position has been spectacular, mate. The screen's good.
Oh, I love it. So this is the current running order of things. Daniel Byrne leads to Matt Keane, Dan Bartosz, Darren Fahey and Doug Gown to the top 5. Danny Davidson, Scott Pocock, Dylan DeBono, David Gallo and Keegan Caldwell makes up the top 10. All 3 class leaders are inside the top 10 at the moment. Pit stops still to come throughout this race. There'll only be 1 in this feature race of 40 minutes. Still a long way to go though. Sinker only 5.5 minutes in. DeBono's already on the move.
The racing is been spectacular. Peter Ziedler, a 1:56.6. He's got the fastest lap so far on the track. Done really, really well. DeBono is having a great little battle there with Pocock. Pocock's got him on the outside. Dylan's just got him on the inside. He's gone fair wide in the last corner, but he's carried momentum through. Pocock is challenging him and following him all the way through. be interesting to see if Pocock can stay on the back of him and make an attempt down the bottom corner. No, he's already pulling out. He's got too wide. Pocock on the inside. Under brakes into the first kick as they come across. He's got the inside line. Bono's going to try the over-under, but he's already blocked his path. Great move there by Pocock.
Very good job. Very solid defensive driving there from Pocock on De Bono. On the big screen, we've got this... Oh!
Who was that in the yellow?
Oh, that was Calabros Anita. Miguel Crespo is now also dropping down the order. He's in the wall. So what has happened with Rosanita and going off track here on lap 4 of this race?
Miguel has asked for a tow.
Okay, so Rosanita just ratted out wide, so that's all right. He didn't actually end up too poorly. This was Crespo's moment. He was a part of this battle pack with... Oh, he got turned by McAvoy, maybe moving over. I'm not sure.
It's hard to tell from that angle who's moved on who, isn't it? There has been no comment of a safety car. He's been requested a tow and has been given permission to tow.
Oh, it looks like Tyson's just turned in a little bit too hard on him there. That's what that looks like to me. We'll see what RC say.
Oh, Snellenberg and Ziedler on the back having a great little fight there. I'll tell you what, Pocock and I've forgotten all about them for a few seconds there, but Pocock and De Bono are still having a great battle side by side again.
Oh, a little bit of wheel to wheel from Gallo and Pocock. I don't know if you saw that, Sinker. There was that littlest bit there.
Yeah, that was just as Dylan's let go and gone away, and Pocock got caught on the wrong side of him. Excuse my throat.
Fast lap of the race has just gone to Danny Davison on that last lap of 828 from Davison in P5 at the moment. On board with Nick Schmalenberg. He's got Ratcliffe alongside him in a drag race down towards turn 1. They've got Ziedler and McAvoy up ahead of them. McAvoy, though, could have a penalty coming his way. We're waiting for RC's confirmation as Schmalenberg gets the job done on Ratcliffe at turn 1. Great little move there from the Schmalen bomber.
I'm going to move my camera down to the Jay Dixon and Rushworth. Ziedler, they're having a great little battle. Four in a row there, fighting for it all. As you got guns out there. Jay taking advantage of the iRacing line on the right-hand side as you're coming down that hill there. Great moves there, great moves. Guns out Gowans, as Grandpa guns out Gowans. He's having a very good night tonight, actually.
Mate, he is. He had a top 5 in race 1. He's P6 at the moment. I'm sure once De Bono gets up to him, he lets him go, knowing that championship is in De Bono's favour at the moment.
Yeah. Doing very, very well. Josh King's doing very well in... What was that? No further action, something getting called in. Keaton Caldwell's leading the AMs. Second is Josh King. And third, all the way down, in 23rd, is Nick Schmelberg. So Josh King and Keegan have got themselves 10 places ahead of third place. They're having a great run tonight, staying out of trouble and staying clean. I'm still yet to see my brother have a clean race in the Formula Super Lights.
I'm still yet to see him get a win in a long time, Sinker. Yeah, it hasn't happened for him.
If I made him my first race.
We'll have a running tally. The Sinker Showdown throughout the season. It's 9 races, so someone is definitely going to win. You'll never need a rubber match.
No, this is true.
So Davison's now finally gotten past Bartish here as Gowans is looking to line him up as well down at turn 5. Don't know if he's quite close enough just yet to get this move done, is Dougie, but he is going to continue to focus on, almost looked like he was going to send it there. Didn't quite do it. I have just noticed though, Sinker.
Oh shit!
His camera is actually backwards. He's turning right to go left. He's pulling a Lightning McQueen at the moment. Turn right to go left. So Big field, 37 cars. Well, we had 38 at the start of the race, but unfortunately Sean Benici is out saying, I don't know what happened with me. It looked like, Sean, that your teammate Ben Rook actually locked it up and then collided into the side of you at turn 3. That's what it appeared happened earlier in the race.
Yes, 100%. Have a look at this little fight here, mate, that we've got on screen at the moment. This is Thomas Donahue, who's just been passed by Josh King. Who's Thomas racing for these days? Has he gone privateer, has he?
Mate, if you're trying to pick up drivers, Thomas Donahue races for a team. I don't know what team. I think they're called privateer, but you don't need more drivers. No, he's privateer. He's privateer. I'm just pointing out the... But no, yeah, he's a privateer. He's a privateer.
Yeah, he's raced for another team last season. I can't remember who. No, I've got plenty of drivers there, mate. And 2 of them are action at the moment. These boys are putting on a great little show. So this is the battle pack for 10th and 11th place. So that's Josh King, Thomas Donahue, Mitch Noble, Callum Roseniter, Adrian Loretti, Jamie Davis, all coming through there. Davis is up 16 places.
Bartosz has just run it out wide, Sinker. Sorry to interrupt. That's now allowed. Gowan's passed, and De Bono can smell blood, and he's all over him at the moment.
Yeah, one of your boys, Thomas Donahue, has just been passed by Adrian Loretti. Is Adrian Loretti? Who's he racing for?
DFR. He joined DFR when Kittens folded.
Yeah. I'm looking at. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong car. I was looking at the. What's the yellow car there? 442. Who's that?
That's Callum Roseniter of Velocity Racing Team. So Callum joined. Yeah, Callum joined them this season. They made some great pickups actually. So obviously they picked up Sheafy last season from VSL Velocity Sim Labs. Before Matt Tessariero went on to win the AMS title last season, they got him, and they actually signed Callum to join them at the start of this season, and he finished P2 in the AMS last season. So they picked up some solid drivers throughout season 3 to bring into season 4 with them to field. I believe they fielded about 6 cars on track tonight, which is quite an achievement for them.
Yeah, very good. It's up there with Team SRW Motorsport.
Well, and Velocity Sim Labs as well, as one of the bigger teams in the field. You know, they really do control the Pro-Ams for most drivers in a single team, in a single class. There's only one outlying driver, that's Johnny Rowe in the AMS.
Yeah. It's good to see Josh King doing so well at the moment, actually. He deserves it. He puts a lot of work in.
100%,
These
mate.
boys in the mid-pack with a great little battle here on the bottom screen.
Yeah.
Great to see. And what do we got at the moment on the top screen? We've got De Bono chasing down Darren Fahey. Fahey's got a little bit of dust. He's flicking up there. He's taking it a little bit wide. Bono is 9/10 on the him. Fahey is 7/10 off the Matty Keane. And Matty Keane is 4/10 off Danny Davidson in second place. Daniel Byrne has got it all his own way at the moment, hasn't he?
He does, mate. He does indeed. And the one thing that Davison he might want at the moment would be a safety car, because it would close the gap up to Byrne. But if he gets in the lead and De Bono gets up to P2, he will be just hounding if a safety car is called by race control, because it's going to cut down any gap that he could possibly build over De Bono as he tries to make his way through the field up towards the front end. So right now it's in the hands of Davison, but he does not need a safety car. He needs it to stay green.
Oh, that just gone past. That's great driving for these boys here. I tell you what, the field in 15, 16, all the way down to 20th is so tight.
It
and
is.
There's not much in them at all. The boys are fighting like crazy. Some really good driving down the bottom screen.
De Bono's now gotten past Darren Fahey. He moves him up into P4 on the road. He is on the pro podium at the moment. He's only got Matt Keane to get past to get onto the overall podium here tonight. The prediction's looking pretty good at the moment, Sinker, for 2 drivers who finished on the podium in race 1 to finish on the podium in this race. And it looks like it could be Davison and De Bono.
Very, very well. Extremely well, mate. That was a very good educated guess.
Oh, well, you know, it's all right to go balls to the wall sometimes, but you've also got to take the stats and the history into account as well. And I mean, Davison and De Bono, they are just out of this world at the moment.
Yeah, they look. All these guys are out of this world as far as I'm concerned. It's like on any night anyone can win, but I think in peak form, like you said, De Bono, Davidson, they're just shining that little bit better.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's unusual not to see Jay Dixon up the pointy end all the time, and like David Gallo as well. Velo, when he comes back, when he's fully fit, will be interesting to see how he's going to go.
Well, one interesting thing I've noticed is, so Dixon was very, very strong in the old F3 car. Now, I don't think he's actually necessarily gotten slower since he moved to the SFL. I think the whole field's actually just gotten better ever since we changed to this car. And I think he's kind of just plateaued, and everyone's been on the kind of short incline across the last 3 seasons.
Traveling and all that sort of stuff. So maybe he's maybe just the focus isn't out there to win a top moment. It's just to have a bit of fun. So who knows? You go through phases of where you want to be and what you want to do with this sort of series.
Mr. Simmons has said we should do a team championship during competition. The only issue with that is how many privateers we have, but also how big some of the teams are. I mean,
yeah, it makes it. Look, it's a lot of fun. We used to do it all the time, but then we'd have team 1, team 2, team 3, because we've got a lot of really big teams here.
Yeah.
I think I've got 6. I've got 6. Who's Peter just there?
Danny Davidson.
That is Danny Davidson.
So he's trying to undercut. He's going to try and undercut Daniel Byrne.
Let's see how that works out for him.
We'll see
He's
if
the first one. We are at the 17-minute mark. That's a bit early, isn't it?
No, I mean, they can get 24 minutes out of the tank. So 23, 24 minutes. By the time he comes out of pit lane, he should be able to get home. You know, you've got about a 6-minute swing that you can pit.
This shows you how close the field is, right, from top to bottom.
Yeah.
But Danny Davidson has gone in from the front all the way down to 23rd. So that just shows you how close the field is as far as pace and gaps. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
That is amazing.
Tesseriera is also now in pit lane. Piccoli is all over Jordan Ferguson further back in the field. We'll see if she attempts a move here on him. She does not. Just tucks back in behind him at this stage. Cowie's had a moment though down there. He's actually going quite slow. What happened to him off of turn 1 to Andrew Cowan? Oh, I caught the dirt. Big slide. Would have felt that in the motion rig for sure. Very lucky to pull that off. He waited a couple of seconds, see if anyone was coming, moved it across the road, didn't touch the wall. Play on for Cowie, but the tyres will be hurting now. I predicted he may come into pit lane this lap. Change those tyres, put some fuel in the car as well.
Tell you what, these boys on the bottom part, Ziedler, down O'Donoghue and Rosnetta and Varney, they're swapping places. They're two. Oh, they were free wide for a second there. We've got Rosnetta taking the inside line under brakes. Varney's thinking of going in between the two of them. He's done. Donoghue's got the inside line and finally taken it. Rosenetta's gone wide. Now Varney's cut the inside and Rosnetta. My God, these guys are just mixing it up as much as possible.
Mate, they are having an incredible battle back for P16 on the road.
That'd be so much fun driving with those guys.
Oh, it would.
Fighting. It's so good.
It really would. De Bono here appears to be going long to try and counteract the undercut attempt by Danny Davidson on Daniel Byrne. Tyson McAvoy's now in pit lane. Where is Danny Davidson? He's just coming up to the top of the hill. So there is currently a 30-second gap.
Wonder what happened there, mate. Ziedler got run off, I think.
Oh, yep. Kevin Wakefield's been involved as well. So this was, sorry, no, that was Rosnetta and Donahoe. There it is here. So Pete Ziedler.
It's been called.
Oh, that was a massive wiggle.
Again, what was that? He went all the way around the car.
So he had Davis. Oh, so maybe he was trying to bump draft him and then, I don't know, that's weird.
Who was behind him?
Jamie Davis. Okay, so let's do this, because just so we can get the onboard with Davis. So This was him passing Ziedler. Yeah, there's a little touch, and that unsettled the car massively. Gave it big old speed wobbles. Oh, that might look very poorly.
Minor touches, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so
that was very similar to what happened to Josh Horton in the 86s last week when he was trying to follow, except reverse position, he was trying to follow Dylan DeBono, and he got his nose just out in the dirty air, and it just took him out and spun him. Kevin Wakefield, a little self-spin there.
Yep, honorary Sinkovic.
Say again?
Saying an honorary Sinkovic.
Yeah. Safety car is out.
Yep. All of the front runners are in pit lane.
Oh, here we go.
Here's Davison though. So remember, he pit a couple laps ago. He's coming around the final corner. When does... Oh, they haven't even hit the box yet. DeBono's just gone into the box. Davison's going to scream past them. But this is going to hurt him. This safety car is going to hurt the gains that he may have had over them. So Byrne and DeBono have just come out of pit lane. He has to line up in behind Wakefield. He can't go past him. He's gone past him. That's going to be... That's a penalty.
Ooh.
That's a penalty on Danny Davidson. He's passed. Yeah, he's passed Kevin Wakefield. Kevin Wakefield came out of pit lane ahead of him.
Oh, Kevin's just called it.
This is going to cost Danny Davidson the race.
Greg's calling it. He's going to get a drive-through for that.
This is going to cost him the race.
Yep.
Now, if he had come around turn 1 and given him the position back, fair play. And even though Kevin is a lapped car and will get a wave around, he still has technically come out of the lane ahead, hit the control line before Danny Davidson passed him.
Yeah.
So, since we're under safety car, we have an opportunity just to quickly break this down.
So hang on, who passed Kevin then?
Danny Davidson, who now leads the race.
Danny Davidson. I thought it was Dylan that came.
No, it was Davidson. So let's quickly find. So Danny Davidson passed DeBono here. So I've just got this in slow mo just so we can catch it. So he comes up. So that's the control line just next to him. The control line is right next to him where he is right now. So these cars he's just gone past are illegal overtakes. So he passed Byrne and DeBono illegally. They were ahead of him at the control line.
So Danny Davidson had just been told to go back 2 places. He's just been...
Wow.
Yeah, so he's got to come back behind DeBono.
Which he's just done.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
You know,
lucky.
They're very lucky. Very lucky he didn't get a drive-through.
Yeah, very lucky. Those boys should have not called it out until the grid was go, go, go. And then he might have got it.
Yeah, but the problem is, though, race control may not have been as willing to check it under green conditions as they would be now under safety car when everything's slow and there's no incidents happening.
Yeah, but we've still got plenty of time left in the race too.
Yeah, true.
So I'm not sure if that was the right move by those boys to put it in there so early.
These are little games you can play with the rules that are within the rules. Yep.
You got to know your rules. So they're a bit smarter. Me personally, I would have held that back until the race started again.
Wow.
There you go.
So we're still under safety car. We're probably going to be under safety car for one more lap. Right now, I'm on wood for the prediction sinker. Oh,
Greg Johnson has just put in a complaint to race control that car 705, Jason Depp, was slowing down as they were coming past the pits and slowing down on purpose so Johnny Rowe could get out in front of them. So it'd be interesting to see how that gets unpacked as well.
So what would be the ruling on that, Sinker?
Say again?
What would be the ruling on that? Because I would assume he hasn't slowed down unsafely.
Well, he's not slowing down safely, but he's deliberately slowing down and not maintaining the gap in front. So it would only probably be a warning, I'd say, a black and white flag for unsportsmanship. So that would probably be a warning. That's about it.
David's asking in the chat, safety
anyway.
car picks up the leader, not lap car. The problem is, David, because Danny Davidson passed the effective leader of Daniel Byrne and also passed Kevin Wakefield, the safety car picked him up because he was the leader in the timing tower. But because Danny got those positions... Yeah, so because Danny actually got that position illegally, that's why they picked up Kevin Wakefield as well. He'll get his wave around because he's at the front of the field. At least he should get his wave around. He's right in front of the leaders and, you know, should really just be allowed to come past.
So race control had a fair bit to unpack during that time.
Yeah.
There was a lot of little things that were going on about people entering the field, exiting. People still ask the stupid question of, is the pit lane open? Pit lane is always open. The only thing that closes is the exit. And that's when it's up to the adjudication of the RC team.
That's when the train comes past. Once the last car in the train is past the control line, the pit lane exit is open. The entry is always open. The exit is the only thing that closes.
Yeah, correct. So anyway, he couldn't have just stopped between them though, not without wrecking.
He could. He had no one. He had no one behind him. He had no one behind him. He could have slowed down.
You know, there. It's a bit different when you're in the seat, doing all the driving, but very interesting to say the least. It's now all been packed up and no more chitter chatter in the background. So the teams are all focused again. I'd suggest that we will have now 12 minutes of flat out, foot to the floor racing. We've got Darren Fahey, let me just go back, Daniel Byrne in the lead position, Dylan DeBono, Danny Davidson, Darren Fahey, David Gallo, Matty Keane, Gowans, Percock, Bartush, Caldwell. Safety car is now pulling away and the race will go to the control of Danny Byrne.
Isn't
the last lap?
Isn't an interesting sinker? Last race, off the at the end of the race, we had a Carlin's car, we had DeBono, and we had Davison battling it out for the lead. Race 2, safety car restart, we got a Carlin's car, we've got Dylan DeBono, we got Danny Davidson battling for the lead. This time though, instead of David Gallo, actually no, even better comparison. Last race, it was the Carlin's car that had pole, David Gallo. This race, it was the Carlin's car that had pole, Daniel Byrne. So it's amazing how often this can just reinvigorate itself, recreate itself. Will it go the same way as last race? Do you hold Daniel Byrne in higher esteem than now two-time champion David Gallo, who's won more titles than Byrne has? I don't know.
I don't know. What I am seeing is my drivers not sitting behind the driver in front of him. They should be all following each other. Naughty.
They're going to get a whipping from Sinker, apparently.
Here we go.
So Byrne has control of the field. I think he'll go the same time that Gallo did.
Safety car is in. Daniel Byrne has control of the race. No passing before the control line. Let's see where he takes it off and where the action starts.
It's up towards the line. He's still holding them. They need to get in a line with him. They can't sit like that. DeBono's the only one who's following the rule correctly right now.
Yep.
He's right on him.
Side by side.
He's going to hold him right to the line. He's gone now. And he is. Davison has tried to get the advantage down the inside of DeBono. We may see DeBono call that in, seeing as Davison was not in a stern with him in towards the start-finish line. They're side by side into turn 1. Battle is on between both of them, on board with Davison now. DeBono's had to lock in behind him through turn 3. They got Fahey and the Pro-Am leader, Matt Keane, in behind them at this stage. Gallo, Pocock, Bartish, Caldwell, all in a stern as DeBono's trying to get this back on Danny Davidson. Brooks Schmalenberg. Sheaf as well. Bartish is in line here with Caldwell down towards turn 5. There's battles everywhere. Danny Davidson's off the road.
Wow.
Danny Davidson.
Well, how did he get there?
Well, that's what we're about to find out, Sinker. How has Danny Davidson ended up off the road at turn 5? So he's on the inside of De Bono. Oh, he lost it all on his own. A self-spin.
Angle. He tried to. Oh, I just saw something else there. Very, very interesting with De Bono's race line.
He deliberately ran the white. Oh my God, that was huge. That was Josh King.
Yeah, he's got collected, I think, for the back.
Could this be another safety car? He's in a very peculiar position.
His car is destroyed. I'm not sure what exactly happened there, but that was a very close racing.
Oh, looked like a self. Was that a self spin again?
Looked like it hurt. I could hear impact in my ear.
Yeah, there was a little impact when the car in behind came through.
I think he's got across Rushworth.
Oh my God!
Oh, that tethering system doesn't work very well.
No, we need a better angle of this just to see the whole thing.
Yeah, he's been allowed to tow there, isn't he?
Yeah, he did it himself, and then that was when he came back across. Wow.
That car just disintegrated.
Oh, wait, De Bono's off as well. Dylan De Bono's outside of the top 10.
Ooh, I got Daniel Byrne and Dougie Gowans, Darren Fahey. Darren Fahey, another top end go. What the hell?
What has happened to the Dylan De Bono, to the front runners of this race? Oh, it's a self-spin again.
Wow. That is amazing. 2 front runners, quality drivers, have had spins. That is crazy. Now we've got Daniel Byrne, Darren Fahey. Daniel Byrne's got 2-second lead off Darren Fahey. Darren Fahey's teammate. No, Daniel Byrne's at Carlin, is he?
Yeah, he's at Carlin's. Fahey's now at DFR.
Yeah. We've got Carlin, we've got a DFR, then we've got a Velocity, and followed by another Carlin. Looks like Kevin Caldwell's gone off somewhere as well.
He has.
His backpack, got a camera on. He's still packed with heaps of action. These boys are battling it out like crazy. It seems like I've lost one team member, but 2 are still battling out there in this little pack as well. But
you can't
it's the same
even.
Guys, first race.
Oh,
no, we've had a spinner.
Yeah, Giuliano Sinize's just gone round.
Round.
Fahey's off the road as well. What is happening?
Did Fahey just self-spin as well?
I think so. These guys...
What's the temperature of this, mate?
What is happening out there? Let's have a quick look at what the temp is as Gowans is going for a move. 24 degrees, so it's prime conditions.
Yep.
24 degrees track temp.
Dust on their tyres, mate.
Well, this track is a tyre killer. So it does burn through rubber very quickly as Vernie's now off as well. A turn 1 and a massive stack! Tesseriero's off the road, as is Caldwell. And wouldn't you know it, who's come through into the lead of the AMs? Dean Sinkovic could be on here.
Oh, that was crazy. That was amazing. We'll have to unpack that in a few seconds, but that was crazy. So what do we got?
This was Vernie down at turn 1. So he caught the grass, very similar to what Cowie did last race. Did well to hold brakes. And look at that, they're all trying to take avoiding action.
Someone's driven straight into him.
Yeah, I think that was Keegan Caldwell or Matt Tesseriero. So they're all trying to take avoiding action here. So Tesseriero just clipped him. That sent caught out Caldwell. Great avoidance by some of these drivers.
Wow. That was some action. Oh, Caldwell's moving as that red car was coming through too.
Yeah, he was trying to get out of the way. Wow, wowee. Sean saying the bumps around this track, if you miss just a bit, you spin. Yeah, it's catching a lot of drivers out at the moment.
Yeah. But
This...
look at this battle down the bottom. Here's Donahue and oh, who's the car beside him?
That is Donahue and Rosanita. Donahue, Rosanita.
Whoa, they're having a fantastic little battle down the bottom there.
David saying oil on track, quite possibly. Quite possibly oil on track.
I really wish they did that.
Well, I think it can actually happen. Oh my God, there's been a massive stack with Donahoe as well.
Yep, they're gone. They just touched. They barely touched.
What is happening in this race? Oh, Dean Sinkovic, who was leading the AMS, is off the road at turn 1. It's given Greg Johnston an almighty opportunity.
He had to lock it up to avoid contact.
Johnston now side by side with Ferguson here, down towards turn 5. Ferguson will be trying to back him up as his teammate Johnny Rowe is currently P2 in the AMS, only a little bit further back down the road. What a wild end this has been to this race, ladies and gentlemen. This has been one of the craziest races we have seen.
We're caught up to see what actually happened.
Let's have a quick look. We're coming up onto the final lap. So this was Dean down at turn 1.
This race has gone so quick.
So he was already off the road there. This is turn 1. So the big smoke. Oh, self-spin. A Spinovich moment has cost him the lead and possibly the win. Wow.
Oh, that is crazy. I just saw. Ganesia. Who was the one that went off?
It was Donahoe and Fahey. Fahey gave him a little receipt after he was off the track. White flag possible. Oh no, I thought I saw the white flag. It's not out just yet. Daniel Byrne leads the way. Gowans and Pocock battling for P3. Could this be an almighty Carlin's 1-2 finish in this race? Or could Doug Gowans pull out some magic?
This has had nothing but action, this race. It's gone so quick. 40 minutes, it's just gone like a click in your ear. It was unreal. The action, the incidents, the passing.
It has been some awesome entertainment thus far. Pocock and Gowans, they're still battling for P3 on the road. They're not willing to give this up just yet. Gowans will be full focused at the moment, trying to get this job done for Velocity Sim Labs, to try and pull something out of the bag after De Bono has given up an opportunity to win his 5th race of the season from a very simple mistake that a lot of drivers have made tonight. And it's cost him, unfortunately, but he will still lead the championship out of this race, will Dylan De Bono. But there's a chink in the armour all of a sudden, Sinker. All of a sudden, he's not so perfect that we once may have thought.
Well, but everyone makes a mistake.
That's it.
As you said, it's a rough track, it's a rough surface, and anything can put you off. I need to switch my camera in the bottom one because we've lost track of it. We're going to go to De Bono, who's being chased down by Rosenauer, Tyson McAvoy, and Peter Ziedler. Those boys are having a great little ding-dong.
Daniel Burns at the final corner. It's going to be white flag lap, Sinker. 1 lap to go in this race. 10 seconds on the timer before he crosses the line. Barney's out there with the white flag. He's going to cross the line with 4 seconds to go. I mean, if he lifted to the top of the hill, they would have gotten the checkered. But anyway, Dougie Gowans is in one almighty battle at the moment with Scott Pocock for P3 on the road, running him out of room. They're both off the track in a massive moment at turn 1. And all of a sudden, Matty Keane, the Pro-Am, is on the podium.
Oh my God, we've got Matty Keane and Mitch Noble now. This is ridiculous. What the hell happened there?
This has been one of the craziest races we have seen in a long, long time for Super Formula Lights. Hunter will be kicking himself right now that he had to miss this one. But it has completely flipped this championship on its head. I'd also like to point out that Nick Schmalenberg is now leading the AMs after Greggy Johnson has had to come into the pits. Andrew Cowan is P2. Johnny Rowe is P3 for the AMs. So the Pro-Ams, this is the battle for the lead. Matt Keane, Mitch Noble, Callum Rosenheath is further back in P3. But at the front end of the field, P1 and 2, Carlin's Motorsport. It has been a long time between drinks since their last 1-2 finish in the Pro field. And they look to be on for one miraculous victory here this evening.
All I can say is, here comes Sinker, here comes Carnage.
Can we get you in the booth every week, Sinker, just as a third man?
To get himself an extra point.
Oh.
This has been one hell of a race. I can't wait to unpack that last incident between Pocock and Ducky Gowans, but this is the last few corners. And the Carlin boys, JP will be just sitting in his chair, bouncing up and down, going, woo.
He'll be so proud of the boys. For the first time in a long time, Carlin's Motorsport, Daniel Byrne and David Gallo, 1-2 at Road America in the feature race as Byrne takes another win next to his name. Matty Keane is going to get on the podium for the Pro-Ams here. P1 for them, P3 overall. Noble just misses out. Loretti in the top 5, P3 in the Pros. Unfortunately, he's going to miss out on an interview tonight. Jamie Davis comes home P6, Jay Dixon P7, Dylan DeBono at least has a continuous run, Sinker, of a top 10 finish in every single race this season. Ziedler comes home P9, Rosanita P10. Nick Schmalenberg has come home P1, only just ahead of Andrew Cowan for the amateurs here this evening. And it means we've only got 4 people to chat to because we have a Pro-Am on the podium.
Mate, how would my brother be kicking himself right now?
Mate.
How's the Bono going to be kicking himself? Who was the other front runner? Danny Davis?
Davison, yeah.
Oh, and then you've got Pocock and Dougie Gowans. There's 5 guys that were just sitting there in prime positions, just destroyed their races with one little slip.
Sean's saying everyone has lost their damn minds. I mean, how can you not? The amount of carnage that we saw after that safety car restart for the final, what was it, 15 minutes of the race, Sinker?
Yeah.
That was huge. It was absolutely massive. A lot of races ended, a lot of seasons affected off that. This is for sure, at this point, got to be Danny Davidson's worst round of the season. At this point, it's his drop round.
You know what he's done? Last lap, Dylan DeBono got himself an extra point, which might be crucial in this series.
Yeah, but Davison's also just gotten it.
On the lap. He
Yeah.
took the 1 point off him.
So what's also now important to point out as well, this was an F1 shadow round for the Mexican Grand Prix. Daniel Byrne led that championship into this race. He's actually just extended his lead. So he's still on for winning the F1 Shadow Series this season with only 4 rounds to go in that series.
So, Greg Barber is looking to see who's going to the green room.
It would be Daniel Byrne, David Gallo, Matt Keane, and Nick Schmalenberg.
Yeah, Matt Keane, Nick Schmalenberg, and the top 2 guys will be coming into the room.
Yeah, because unfortunately for Loretti, he did not make the overall podium.
Mate, this has been seen you on track for a while. Wow. What a race. Let's have a look at that incident, mate, while these boys get ready.
Yep, let's quickly pull it up. So, let me quickly find it. So it's before the checkered flag. So it was this one here. So it's down towards first corner. So Dougie has actually just squeezed him.
Dougie looks like he wants to squeeze
Yeah,
him,
he squeezed him. I think that's going to be a penalty going Dougie's way. Possibly a rear of grid for next week. Possibly something more. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So look at this. So he goes out to go on the wide line. Dougie then comes across to take his regular line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it just hasn't left him the room.
Dougie that squeezes people. I don't think he's realised he was there. That was
I don't think he did.
a great little move there, Schmelinberg, because he was well past the rear axle by the look of it too. Not Schmelinberg.
For Pocock. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So unfortunate for him there.
We've got Matty Keane in the room.
He's as keen as ever.
Who's the other one?
Nick Schmalenberg. I'm just trying to get up some B-roll for us now, just so we've got something on screen to represent them with. Is Mr. Schmalenberg in there?
Oh,
He's not. We'll
right,
we'll chat to Mr.
right.
Keane first.
Oh, here you go. Smellingberg's here. Smellingberg's here.
Okay, we'll chat to Nick Schmalenberg first. We'll drag him in. Mr. Schmalenberg, the week that your teammate, Mr. Hudson, is not here, you take home an amateur win in what can only be described as the most chaotic and carnage-filled race we've seen all season. How did you survive? I mean, it was just wars after wars out there. You had a couple of off-tracks yourself. How sweaty's that seat right now?
Yeah, that was a hectic race. I nearly didn't even race tonight. I think I logged on to the computer at like 4 minutes to 8, and I thought, I'll give it a crack. So, yeah, it was a good race.
Well, mate, you know you've had some ups and downs this season, of course, but a class win to your name now. What were some of the great battles you were having out there around those little moments where you may have got knocked off track and stuff like that?
I'm not sure it was the first or the second race, but I had a really good race with Shane Ratcliffe. We went 2x2 through a few corners and kept it really clean, and then had that race with Cowie right at the end there. So that was I wasn't sure if it was for the class win, but just in case, I figured better get the elbows out just in case and see how it goes. So yeah, it was a shame. I think I was running class win before I went off after the restart. I just dipped the wheels on the inside curb and it just rotated me. So I think I got lucky that everyone else was a bit more crash affected than I was in the end.
How was the track, mate? Was it slippery? Is that why everyone was sliding around? Or was it the fact that everyone was dipping their tyres into the dirt here and there, and then that was impacting the tyres as you were coming around a bigger corner?
I think it was just dipping the tyres because I got into the groove pretty good, and I definitely wasn't as fast as a few others, and I had no practice, so I was probably a gear down at a few corners, but I was just sort of focusing on like slow entry speed, fast exit speed, and I surprisingly stuck on track quite well. So I might do that more often, I think.
Excellent. Well, a famous driver in our series, Adam Hughes, always says slow in, fast out. But I wasn't sure if that was his Tinder moves or his racing moves.
No, it was a good race. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I logged on tonight.
It looked good, mate. You did well. Congratulations. And you took advantage of the situations around you, which was really good to see. And some great driving out there, mate. Good luck out there.
Cheers. No, it's good to be back. I didn't get to do the full season in season 3, so it's nice to try and get a good crack this season.
Well,
excellent, mate. Who gets you on track and supports JWN Simsport?
Yeah, so shout out to Hutto for missing the race, so I better hold that against him. But yeah, brewed coffee. If you're in Toowoomba, get down there, get a coffee. Jergs does a great cuppa. Otherwise, TW Engineering, Tough Customs, TCR Fabrication, Nulon. Special thanks to all my teammates. Wade, as usual, these liveries look amazing. And then Tim, if he's watching, my little brother Tim, if he's watching, and the wife, of course, wife and kids. Thanks, guys.
Excellent, mate. Congratulations, mate. Good luck for the rest of the season. I'll be watching.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one. Thanks again.
You too, mate. Thank you. Let's have a quick chat to Mr. Matty Keane. Mr. Keane, P1 on the road for the Pro-Am, but through an absolute nuclear explosion from a couple of pro drivers, you also found yourself on the overall podium tonight, mate. How was that? Because from our seat, this was our version of Chernobyl. It was just blowing up left, right, and centre, and we were having a grand old time watching the fireworks go off.
I'm not going to lie, I was extremely excited to see it all happen in front of me, but no, I sort of expected it because I saw what happened in the first race and I saw what was happening prior to the safety car, so I knew I wasn't racing them for class, so just a little lift here and a little lift there, let them go, let them get involved with each other, and well, I didn't expect it to pay off, but I was quite happy to sit where I was, but I'm even happier to come through and take an overall podium.
Matty, I know exactly what it was. I'm your good luck charm, mate.
Hey?
I'm your good luck charm.
Well, every time you've been here, I've come to have a chat.
Yeah, well, you came out on last Thursday night with a spectacular effort and coming out third. And I'm here tonight, which I'm not usually here, and here you are coming third again. It's like, I'm going to have a killer night tomorrow night, mate. Don't worry about it.
Oh, fingers crossed. You know, we can always hope and pray, but no, I was honestly just cruising along and just letting the pro boys go and tonight, and just hoping that I could sit and be comfortable, just work on the consistency. But yeah, it was a bit more exciting than I thought.
We've
Well done, mate. Well,
we've just seen on the screen. Sorry, quickly, Sinker. It was early in the race two, Matty. You were in behind Bartish and Dixon down towards Canada Corner, and Bartish appeared to have squeezed Dixon out a little bit, and he ended up going straight off the track. What was going through the mind at that moment when you were trying to take some avoiding action and hoping that Dixon wouldn't all of a sudden just turn right in front of you?
The boys had a laugh. I was in with the team, and pretty much it was. I just made the comment, "Bye, Jay," and just kept going. I saw it coming because Dan was moving a few times going into the braking zones, and I had known that. That's why I didn't make the attempt to make the move. I knew I wanted to do it. If I was going to do it, I was going to do it on a straight. And the draft with these things is so powerful. So I like I said, I sort of sat back a lot of the time and saw a lot of these things playing out, and just sort of expected it, but I didn't expect it as much as it did.
Well, mate, you had one hell of a race here tonight. Congratulations on your Pro-Am win, as well as your overall podium out there for P3. Let us know helps get you and SLM Motorsport out on track. Anyone else you wish to give a shout out to as well, mate? And yeah, just well done, because that was a killer drive from you to get it up in the top 3.
Thanks, Hamish. Yeah, I'd like to thank the SLM boys getting me back into the sim, really pushing me. I'd also like to thank Dougie Gowans, because he really helped get me back into the leagues and getting back on the track. Really appreciate that from him. And our sponsor follows SLM and pushes us on track is Suit Speed. If you're looking for any sim racing apparel, Suit Speed's got the best sim racing gloves out there. They also do t-shirts and socks. But yeah, big shout out to Suit Speed, and if you use SLM as a code, you get 10% off.
Mate, fantastic to hear. Great job tonight. Best of luck next week when we go racing at Interlagos for round 4. If we don't get a chance to speak to you, best of luck for the rest of the season ahead as well.
Thanks, boys. Really appreciate your work.
Thanks, mate.
I'll see you tomorrow night, buddy.
See you, Steve.
All right, we've now got our top 2 finishers, both of the Carlins boys, who ended up
at... together.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do, mate. That's what we're going to do. We just got a couple things to get it sorted while we drag them in. Let's drag them down. Mr. Gallo and Mr. Daniel Byrne. Long time between drinks for you two gentlemen in terms of a 1-2 finish, but you have pulled it off once again for Carlins Motorsport. Boys, it was pure fireworks out there. Daniel, you wouldn't have been able to see it at the front of the field, but David, there were cars going off left, right, and centre as you were picking your way through the field and back up onto the podium in this race. I mean, how does it feel to get this job done tonight?
Evening, gents. Yeah, I wasn't. I was just counting on some clean laps, but slowly but surely they're sort of just falling off one by one. So managed to sort of get up here 1-2, Daniel, which is wasn't expected. That's for sure.
I tell you what, we spoke about you boys earlier in the race about how your teamwork works and how close you are with pace to each other, and I'm not surprised at all. I see the way you guys driving the 86s, and it's good to see you guys back at the pointy end as a team, which has been pretty spectacular. And I'll tell you one thing right now, I'm sure somewhere in UK right now there's a half-bearded guy that looks like Simon Peck that's going like a little girl that his 2 boys have come up there at first and second place.
Hopefully we get to have a chat with him tomorrow, but yeah, he might actually have something in the mail coming his way as well, but let's keep that quiet for now. But yeah, great, great race tonight. Yeah, I came up, had a little bit of an incident in race 1 on lap 1, which put me back, and I just didn't have the pace, so I was just rocking back. But luckily, I was able to hold on to P10, which yeah put me in the perfect position for the next race. And I'll tell you what, those guys were pushing hard behind me. I was keeping an eye on my relative the whole time, and Davis and DeBona were pushing the whole time. But yeah, it was unusual near the end. There's a few of the guys kind of dropped off and spun off, so maybe they were pushing a little bit too hard.
I've been obviously out of the rig for a while, and this series has evolved like crazy. It seems that the mid pack isn't really much of a mid pack anymore, is it? I mean, there's 1 second difference in qualities from to all the way to 15th. So once you're in that mid pack, you really got to fight your way through, don't you?
Yeah, if you're a 10th off in quali, you might be 5 or 6 positions down. So yeah, every 10th counts when everyone's that close, and especially in a track like this where there's so much draft and you can wait for the next corner because you're going to get a draft past him, for the following corner. So yeah, it makes for good racing though. I'm sure it was entertaining as well.
Oh, it was spectacular. In the first heat, David, you were battling around with De Bono, and is it running through your mind when you guys are coming up to the pinnacle part of the race, the last few laps of, are you counting back which drafts you're going to be able to take and where you're going to be vulnerable in the next lap or two to make sure that you've got yourself in that critical position to take the race?
Yeah, 100%. Like, there's no point sort of battling with Dylan sort of early on because we sort of had a little bit of a gap on Danny. I think Danny come back into it towards the end there, but at 100%, there's 3 straights there where you've got to time the draft. So unfortunately, I was just outside of it coming into the last lap or so. Otherwise, I would have liked to maybe try and make a move, but a tricky track to break away from the guys, that's for sure, especially when everyone's so close.
Excellent. Well, you know what? You guys put on a spectacular show. You deserve to be where you are. Fantastic race. I'm stoked that I didn't pick this race, but Hutto, thank you for taking the night off and giving me the opportunity to call a race in the FSL, because I watch it every week in my theatre room and sit back and watch you guys pull it all out there and throw it out on the line, and it is spectacular, mate. I take my hat off to you boys, and it's good to see the Carling boys up for the 1-2.
Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Well, gentlemen,
Hamish?
let us know who helps get you guys out on track. Anyone else you wish to give a shout out to as well. For myself, Sinker, and the rest of the league, congratulations to you, David, on your P2 in this race, and to you, Daniel, on your win, and as well to Carlin's Motorsport on another 1-2 finish next to your name.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, shout outs to Drive Raider Wade on YouTube, Glam Raider, Little Rara, Eagles Automotive, and hi to Atari, Bianca, French and Minka, Zach and Levi, and to Drew as well out there watching.
Very good, gentlemen. Best of luck next week for Interlagos and for the rest of the season. We look forward to seeing how you go, and hopefully we'll be having a chat again with you real soon.
Cheers, guys. Thank
you. See you guys.
Congratulations, guys. Well done. Congratulations for the rest of the season.
Cheers.
Well, Sinker.
Wow.
Happy that you didn't have the night off tonight?
Oh, look, you know what? Every time I've got to go out and do a broadcast, I'm like, the half an hour before, I'm like, oh, I really can't be bothered tonight. I'm not motivated for it. But as soon as I sit in this chair and get the mic in front of me, and I know how hard these boys work on track, it's like, it's not about me and you. It's about these guys out on track and the effort they put in. And bloody hell, I'm happy to be here. It's spectacular to watch these guys and what they do. It's just ridiculous, dude. This series, if you're out there and you're not watching this and you're an open wheel fan, you're crazy, because this is spectacular. I've watched some UK open wheelers and some other open wheel racing around the world and the action in ours is sensational, mate. These drivers, hats off to them. They do a bloody good job from the front to the back.
Mate, I mean, it's as you mentioned, it's about them on track every week. There are so many different narratives at play for drivers on their lonesome or within their rivalries as well, or within their battle packs, and it's an absolute pleasure to bring those narratives to screen and try and express them as best as we can, not only for the SFLs but for the supercars, and for you for the 8.6s, myself for the legends as well. I mean, it's only getting better and better, and the narratives that we've already got going this season is absolutely insane. I mean, De Bono started off incredible, but it's shown that he has a little chink in the armour. Maybe there's a couple of screws loose still, but we are still hopeful for him to have a strong run home. It shows that Daniel Byrne hasn't lost everything that he's got, neither has David Gallo, and even Danny Davidson can make a mistake from time to time. So the Pro Championship is wide open. It was looking as narrow as a pinhole there, but all of a sudden has been blown wide open after this race, and anything can happen this season. At any time, that could cost anyone a hope at this championship. It's been an absolute pleasure to call the action once again, Sinker. A big shout out to all of our series sponsors, including Warren & Brown Tools for their continued support of the V8 Supercars Series on Tuesday nights and the V8 Supercars Championship on Sunday nights, as well to Cooler Master for their continued support here on the Wednesday nights for the Super Formula Championship, and as well to Shannon's Insurance for their support on the Thursday night GR86 Nationals, as well to our other series sponsors, NeuroPower, DSL Rail Services, Shunt Scenery and Groom Industries, home of the V8 Coffee Table, which can be found on Prime Video's Top Gear Australia in the news, interviews and studio segments, now also available on Channel 10. We've also got to give a shout out to everyone who's watched here with us tonight, anyone who got in the chat with us, anyone who watches us any night of the week. If you are new here and you haven't already, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe and the bell icon as well, so you are notified whenever we go racing here on SRWtv. We've got a massive final half of round 3 to come for you this week, ladies and gentlemen. Okayama tomorrow night for the Shannon's Insurance GR86 Nationals, the Legends double header replay race broadcast of Zolder from last week for round 2, and then the live broadcast directly following it for round 3 out at the Red Bull Ring, coming your way Friday night, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And then on Sunday night, Sinker, we're back again out at Mugello for V8 Supercars Championship action. That's going to be massive with the pro field, but I've been Hamish Munro, joined once again by Steve Sinkovic here for round number 3 of season 4 of 2024 of the Cooler Master Super Formula Championship out at Road America. Appreciate your time, appreciate you being here with us once again. We'll see you guys tomorrow night when JP and Sinker are in the booth for Okayama for round 3 of season 4 of the Shannon's Insurance GR86 Nationals. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because, I'll tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyke just